So if you guys didn't see it back in September, I had a first impressions up for the Tales of Arise demo, which I quite enjoyed a good bit. So having picked up the game and getting a platinum trophy, I say it's about time we review arguably one of the most anticipated JRPGs in recent memory. So as always, let's go on ahead and kick things off with positive points, being how pretty the game looks. Like real talk, the Tales games always did look quite nice, but oh my goodness, Arise takes it to a whole new level. Mind you, this was on a standard PS4, so I can imagine that it would look even nicer on the PS4 Pro or the PS5. Up next is the combat. It was smooth enough for my liking, and you could initiate it by actually encountering enemies in the area. In other words, you don't have to worry about the random encounters, which is nice. There's a fair bit of combat customization as well, but in saying that, I'd be here quite a while if I were to talk yous all through it, so I'll let yous experiment around for yourselves on that front. But for the most part, it is pretty good, so there you guys go for the combat section here. My next positive point here is that the characters are pretty memorable and quite likeable at the same time. As again, I won't spoil anything just in case you guys want to see them for yourselves, but for folk that are familiar with the Tales games, the skits do make a nice wee return, you know, where you get to see like the character interactions and whatnot, so I'll leave one in here as a wee example before we move on, but yeah, they did a good job with the skits as well, you'd be pleased to know. So here's a wee skit here just for folk that are interested, and after that we'll move on to the next section.
I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
So coming up now is the soundtrack, which was also pretty good. They really did a good job with the battle themes especially, which I quite enjoyed. And last up is the story. Again, for spoiler reasons, I'm not going to go too much into it, but I quite liked it now myself. Hopefully you guys like the stories as well, so there you guys go for the positive points. Now then, moving on to the negatives. As much as I did like the battles, I felt there was quite a lot of visual overload, which as you can imagine can make things hard to follow. So much so that I had to go into the settings to try to turn things down a bit. And while the darker brightness did help a fair bit, I did wish that we had a feature to dim it or lower it a bit. The only other negative was optimization. As I mentioned, I played this on a standard PS4, but I noticed in some of the cities, the NPCs often took a while loading in, as well as a few frame rate issues the odd time. As for the neutral areas, we do have to do side quests to get the gold. That's the in-game currency if you're not familiar with the Tales games. But yeah, you have to do the side quests, or you have to sell materials to get the in-game currency. I didn't mind it too much now, but just keep it in mind that you're probably going to have to do a lot of side quests, or sell your materials if you want the money, to put it simply, if you're looking to do the shopping or to upgrade your stuff. There's also some side activities like finding oils, doing some fishing, as well as artifact finding, which I thought was a nice wee distraction to the main game. But I can understand if folk aren't too big into that kind of stuff. I'll leave a footage here of fishing just in case you guys are interested, and I'll have a wee timestamp if you want to skip it just in case folk were interested in seeing what you can do in the fishing.
Is this what I think it is? I did it! But I'm not gonna quit now.
Remarkable. You're top of the food chain.
And lastly, the trophies. So if you're a trophy hunter like myself, you'd be pleased to know that the game is an easy, if not a bit long, platinum trophy. My only main tip is to just keep in mind to rest at the campfires often to do the character bonding events. I was silly and I left that for last and it took a while, so just keep in mind to do the campfires often to do the character events so you can get those trophies out of the way if you can. And with that all said, that's pretty much it for today's review, everyone. So just make sure you go ahead and like, comment and subscribe. Let me know down below what you guys think of the game. Maybe you picked it up or maybe you're gonna go for the platinum trophy and all of that. But yeah, let me know down below what you think. I'll leave the gameplay footage on just for folk that are interested in seeing the gameplay. But yeah, cheers for watching folks, and we'll catch you next time.